Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to everyone. My group has been given an assignment for our subject Business Law, topic 5, Sales of Good. And we had a topic to be shared with you guys, which is first one is breach by the buyer, and the second one is right or remedies for unpaid seller against the good. So without wasting more of our time, let's watch the videos that we will share about this topic with you guys. Thank you. Okay, so the first one is failure of buyer to take the delivery. Based on section 44, the seller want the buyer to take the delivery on their own, and the buyer need to take the delivery within the reasonable time. So, if the buyer refuse or neglect to take the delivery, they are responsible for the loss, for the care and the custody of good, and they are liable to pay for it. So, the second one is failure of the buyer to pay for the good. Based on section 55, if the buyer failed to pay for the good, the seller may sue the buyers when the ownership of goods has been transferred to the buyer based on section 55(1), and then when the price have been given by the seller is reasonable and they can't pay for it on that day based on section 55(2). So, the last one is failure of the buyers to accept the good. Based on section 56, if the buyer refuses to accept the good, the seller may sue the buyers for the damage for non-acceptance. Okay, so now we would like to share the right or remedies for unpaid seller against the good. First of all, the first one we will share with you guys is, what is unpaid seller? What is unpaid seller? Based on section 45(1), unpaid seller is a seller that haven't been received the full amount of money that they're supposed to receive. Then, all those conditionally payment that been set by the buyers is a dishonored for them.
Let's continue for remedy for unpaid seller, which is two parts. First part is right in person for personal, and second part is right in real for property. For right in personal, common remedies that are available for the unpaid seller against the buyer. This for the unpaid seller. First is to sue the buyer for the price, section 55. Second is to sue the buyer for damages for non-acceptance, section 56. Section 55, where the contract of sale of property in the good has passed to the buyer, and the buyer wrongfully neglect or refuse to pay for the good according to the term of the contract. For section 55, that the seller may sue him for the price of the goods. To section 56, where buyer wrongfully neglect or refuse to accept and pay for goods, the seller may sue him for the damages for non-accepted. Remedy for unpaid seller, the second is right in rent, right? Okay, in the respect of the good themselves, we have three: right in line, right of stop in transit, and the last is right of resale. First is right in line, right? Okay, let me explain. A legal line is depends on position. The unpaid seller, who is the possession of the good, is entity to return possession until payment or tender of the price. Okay, the right still easy even where the property in goods has passed to the buyer, but the delivery has not been made. Section 46 _1_A.
Section 46(1)(A), the right exists even where the property in the goods has passed to the buyer, but delivery has not been made. Section 46(2), the seller may withhold delivery in addition to his other remedies. Section 47(1). Okay, first, where the goods have been sold without any stipulation as the credit. Second, which the goods have been sold on credit but the term of credit has expired. And lastly, where the buyer become insolvent. Section 47(2). The seller may exercise his right of lien notwithstanding that he is possession of the goods and agent or buyer for the buyer. Section 48. Where an unpaid seller has made part delivery of goods, has many exercised his right of lien on the remainder, unless such part delivery has been made under such as to show an agreement to waive the lien. Section 49. The unpaid seller loses his lien in the following circumstances: when the goods delivered to the carrier or other buyer in order that the goods be transmitted to the buyer without reserving the right of disposal of the goods.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Nur Hazwani binti Qasim. Nama matrik 18 DPM 18F 2021. Okey, saya akan sambung apa yang kawan saya terang sebentar tadi. Okey, penjual yang tak mampu bayar ni, dia ada hak untuk menghentikan ataupun meneruskan pemilikan barang tersebut yang sedang dalam transit. Penjual tu juga dia boleh menyimpan barang tersebut sehingga pembayaran harga dibuat. Okey, bila benda ni berlaku? Benda ni berlaku apabila buyer bersikap insolvent ataupun tak mampu bayar. Semasa dalam keadaan transit, barang tersebut berada dalam kawalan pembawa. Okey, who is insolvent? Siapa yang tak mampu bayar ni? Okey, dia seseorang yang telah selesai membayar hutang dalam perniagaan biasa ataupun dia tidak mampu untuk membayar kerana telah melakukan sesuatu tindakan yang menyebabkan dia bankrupt ataupun tidak. Okey, sebelum saya meneruskan penerangan saya ingin memberitahu satu info tentang bailee. Okey, bailee ni siapa? Bailee ni adalah seseorang ataupun pihak yang barang dihantar kepadanya untuk tujuan penjagaan ataupun pembaikan tanpa pemindahan hak milik. Okey, penerangan seterusnya tentang tempoh transit. Seksyen 51, barang yang dianggap dalam transit bermula dari masa barang mereka dihantar kepada pembawa ataupun bailee untuk tujuan penghantaran kepada pembeli atau sehingga pembeli itu ataupun ejen bagi pihaknya mengambil penghantaran daripada pembawa atau bailee tadi. Seksyen 1 _1, apabila pembeli mengambil penghantaran barang daripada pembawa. Seksyen 1 _2, apabila pembeli mendapat penghantaran barang sebelum ketibaan mereka di destinasi yang telah ditetapkan. Dan selepas ketibaan, pembawa memberitahu pembeli bahawa dia telah memegang barang tersebut di atas nama pembeli dan terus memilikinya. Seksyen 1 _3, tujuan selanjutnya yang ditunjukkan oleh pembeli adalah tidak penting. Transit tidak dapat dimulakan semula semata-mata kerana pembeli mengarahkan barang-barang tersebut ke perjalanan destinasi yang lain. Seksyen 1 _6, apabila pembawa bersalah kerana enggan menghantar barang kepada pembeli. Manakala untuk seksyen 1 _7, jika sebahagian barang telah dihantar kepada pembeli dan baki barang masih dalam transit, penjual yang tidak dibayar ni mempunyai hak pembentian untuk menghentikan baki barang yang masih dalam transit yang dibawa oleh pembawa.
Okay, next I will continue to the method for effecting stoppage. Okay, the unpaid seller may exercise stoppage in transit by the following ways. By taking actual possession of the goods as provided under section 52, or giving notice to the carrier or his principal. Maksud dia, penjual yang tak dibayar tu boleh melakukan halangan dalam transit dengan cara dua, iaitu dengan mengambil barang yang dinyatakan barang yang sebenar lah, macam barang betul yang dinyatakan dalam section 52 dalam kurungan 1, ataupun bagi notis kepada carrier tu ataupun kepada principal. Next is giving notice to the carrier. Okay, giving notice to the carrier ni, the carrier shall redeliver the goods to the seller or according to the seller directions. The expenses of redelivery shall be borne by the seller. Means giving notice to the carrier ni, macam dia carrier tu akan serahkan semula barang kat penjual tu ataupun ikut arahan penjual, apa yang penjual suruh. Dan perbelanjaan untuk dihantar redeliver tu, yang hantar semula tu, akan ditanggung sepatut-patut oleh penjual. So penjual yang akan tanggung sebarang belanja untuk kita hantar balik barang tu. Next is right of resale. Section 54 gives a right of resale to the unpaid seller in the following circumstances. Okay, 1. Where the goods are perishable nature, section 54, okay, means right of resale. Section 54, dia ni beri hak dekat penjual semula kepada penjual barang yang belum bayar dalam keadaan berikut. Ada 3 keadaan. Yang pertama, barang tu barang mudah rosak. Okay, refer balik kepada section 54 dalam kurungan 2. Dia bagi hak menjual semula kepada penjual tu. Okay, yang barang tu yang belum dibayar dalam keadaan barang tu adalah barang mudah rosak. Yang kedua, where the unpaid seller who exercise his right of lien or stoppage in transit and has given notice to the buyer of his intention to resell. Maksud dia, kalau penjual tu tak dibayar, tapi dia dah jalankan hak dia sebagai penjamin ataupun stoppage dalam transit, lepas tu dia bagi notis kat pembeli tu bahawa dia nak jual balik barang tu. Okay, tapi but the buyer fails to pay the price within a reasonable time, refer receiving such notice. Okay, tapi pembeli tu dia gagal bayar harga dalam masa yang munasabah selepas menerima notis. Refer balik kepada section 54 dalam kurungan 2. Okay, lepas tu, the seller may also recover from the original buyer damage for any loss due to his breach of contract. Means, penjual juga boleh nak betulkan sebarang kesilapan, kerugian ataupun kerosakan atas tindakan pelanggaran kontrak tadi tu. Okay, and then the buyer shall not be entitled to any profit which may occur out of that resale. Okay, pembeli tu tak berhak langsung kepada apa-apa keuntungan yang ada daripada jualan semula tadi. So memang maksud dia pembeli ni tak ada hak pun untuk nak claim ke apa-apa keuntungan daripada jualan semula tadi. Okay, next is, however, if the seller fail to give such notice, the seller shall not be entitled to recover such damage. Okay, contoh, kalau penjual tu gagal bagi notis, so penjual tu tak berhak untuk dapatkan ganti rugi. Okay. And then, and the buyer shall be entitled to the profit out of the resale kalau ada lah. Macam, okay, refer to section 54 dalam kurungan 2 tadi. Okay, pembeli tu berhak kepada profit daripada jualan semula. Kalau ada jualan semula, kalau ada lah, so dia berhak kepada profit tu. Okay. Okay, then sambung, iaitu yang ketiga, last one is where the seller expressly in the contract reserve the right of resale in case the buyer fail to pay for the price. Section 54. Okay. Okay, maksud dia macam seller ni dah nyatakan dah dalam kontrak secara nyata yang dia ada hak untuk jual balik barang tu kalau buyer tu fail nak bayar, untuk bayar barang pada harga yang ditetapkan. Okay, refer kepada section 54 dalam kurungan 4. Okay. Okay, and then the effect of such resale is that the original contract with such default buyer would terminate. Okay, means kesan daripada jualan semula tadi tu, kontrak asal dengan pembeli automatik akan ditamatkan. So macam batal lah. Okay, and then therefore the original buyer is no longer required to pay for the price, and the seller is entitled to keep any profit out of that resale. Maksud dia, pembeli asal tu tak perlu dah nak bayar harga, lepas tu penjual tu pula berhak untuk simpan apa-apa keuntungan daripada jualan semula tadi tu. Okay, and then however, the seller is still entitled for damage from the original buyer, for breach of contract, and for any loss suffered by the seller out of that breach. Means penjual tu dia masih berhak untuk dapat ganti rugi daripada pembeli asal tadi. Pasal sebab pembeli asal tu langgar kontrak, lepas tu dia bagi apa-apa kerugian yang dialami oleh penjual daripada pelanggaran kontrak tu. Okay, means, okay, macam ni. Penjual tu masih berhak nak dapatkan ganti rugi daripada pembeli asal sebab melanggar kontrak. Okay, dan bagi apa-apa kerugian yang dialami oleh penjual kepada pelanggaran kontrak. So, dia berhak macam nak dapat ganti rugi lah sebab pembeli langgar kontrak, so dia berhak dapat ganti rugi. Penjual tu berhak dapat ganti rugi.